Think they're ready for us. You ready? Let's get it. So what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of We Got Next. As always, we just want to say thank you for always showing us support and love every single time we end up recording different videos. I am one of your hosts of the show, We Got Next. You know who it is, Hayes, aka Shifty on Twitter. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, like and subscribe on YouTube, and continue to show us love on our stuff we got out there on Spotify. There's a lot that's going to be going on today. So I just want to get all the housekeeping stuff out the way, and then we can dive right into a lot of things. I'll probably record 2 different videos tonight. So this one will be with the sports and the cryptocurrency, and then I'll do a special one, just strictly NFTs, because I've been seeing a lot of love on those, and we've been definitely seeing a lot in terms of the Solana marketplace. If you look on Solana Art, Magic Eden, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of ones that are going up. So I'll touch on them a little bit here, but we'll dive into a decent amount of them and some new ones that are speculative in another video. So as always, we'll end up starting with the stocks and cryptocurrency. Quick slants, make sure to look out for Steven's quick slants, as he always tries to end up putting those out there. Of course, Steven will probably touch on some March Madness stuff, some free agent stuff, because it's just been a wild time with everything. Just going into it, for starters, the Russian-Ukraine stuff is still going on. We won't touch too much on that, but that is something that does affect the stock market. So we always have to just make a little bit of note with that. Something else, due to the inflation that's been going on, SpaceX has increased and raised their launch just due to inflation, like raw materials and stuff like that, which is to be expected. Everything has been going up. Steve and I talk about every single week. If you look at the gas prices, joints going up. So it was only to be expected when it comes to a launch as well. Tesla just is in the news. And if you notice, their stock price was sitting around the higher 700s and low 800s for a while. And then it started to increase. And then it came out that the Gigafactory in Germany, they're doing a lot over there. They've created their 30 vehicles. And of course, it just continues to expand Tesla and Elon Musk. This is something that was talked about because there was a point in time when they were focusing strictly more so like on the United States and certain other areas, but Germany, a lot of people did want to have happen, and they started with that. So that's a big one. The next thing I want to end up touching on, just swinging over into the cryptocurrency world of stuff. Everyone that's in Orion chain or have heard me talk about Orion chain, you all know that they will be taking a screenshot on March 25th for all the people that are holding the native token or the native coin of Orion chain. So make sure the easiest way to end up getting a part of that snapshot is just make sure to delegate it on Orion chain's mainnet that they will have coming out. Just hold it there. Just have it in one of the delegators. Currently, the APY is 29%. Commissions, I've seen some that are 0%. There's a couple that are 1%. And I saw a couple that were sitting between 5 and 10%. So try to get on the one that you feel has the best uptime, and then with the commission, and then just look at how much they're holding. If you are a little bit weary, if they're holding maybe 20 to 30, I can understand you might be weary. So look for ones that are holding the higher hundreds and the thousands. So that's what I want to just end up bringing up to you all there, because it'll be the Rye X, and that'll be coming out. Their total supply that I did see, the supply that I did see will be 1 billion tokens. So that's something I'm looking forward to, that, just seeing how much they end up airdropping or giving to all the holders of Orion chain. I can say for sure that I love the Orion chain team. I've talked about them. I know if you look on Twitter, Wave Jumper, he's another big one. Sometimes he changes it to like Wave of Waste and different things, but he's been a huge person when it comes to the Orion chain ecosystem. He talked a lot about Trava. He talked about Tide, which is with Trava. He talked about Aries. So all those, if you were just holding a Riot chain, you basically got all of those in some which way, shape, or form. And then when you got Trava, you were able to hold that, stake that to get Todd. So it just helped having the different ones in a Riot chain, just keeps on building and growing. And I'm looking forward to what they have. The price of Bitcoin is only sitting in the 40,000s. So this is a great time to be building. This is a major time for different companies and teams to end up developing more, so that when the next run does happen, they are ready and prepared. And it's not one of those things that they're just throwing shit together just to try and figure stuff out. The biggest things that I want to touch on now in a second will be NFTs. I will harp on that because a lot of this will end up coming down to what's happening in sports, free agency, and stuff like that. But Jack Dorsey and Block did join the $41 million funding round for a Japanese fintech company called Kiash, and they're working on a Japanese wallet and cryptocurrency. So just pay attention to what's happening there, because Block and Jack Dorsey, Jack has focused a lot of his resources on cryptocurrency, whether it's an exchange, a wallet, or even small businesses. So we want to end up seeing what they end up doing. Jack is an intelligent person. I'm saying it like I know Jack, because, me and Jack are like that. But Jack Dorsey has been doing a lot. Has a huge focus on cryptocurrency, and he wanted to spend a lot of his time on this. So he's getting to do that and finding different ways to put it towards and aside the resources and assets towards cryptocurrency and furthering that. So next thing I want to end up bringing up before we go into NFTs and things of that nature is, some people have asked me, how do I end up deciding which NFTs to get into or which projects I know are going to end up doing well? It's all to an extent. You do know, some of them you might end up having more alpha than others, but it really just depends. Some of it is a preference, to be honest with you. For example, with me, some of the cannabis ones, I'll look into those a little bit deeper to see what they're doing. For example, one that I am in is Bong Heads. Today, before I got on here, it was sitting at around like 5.1, which was good. And I saw them in the 2s and in the 3s. So that was a big one. And part of that alpha call, I got that from Caleb, if anyone is in Caleb's Discord group, Caleb Soul Friends. But I saw it from him, and then I saw it somewhere else. I didn't get a whitelist, but I did see it there. Currently, actually, at the time of this recording, it's sitting at 5.49 as a floor price. They only have 2,420, so 2,420 just goes with the whole cannabis thing. But that's a great floor price for it to be sitting at, especially when I saw it before. I have done with like the skull head, not necessarily the Darth Vader looking head, but the skull head one, the lowest floor price for that one is sitting at 5.99, and then the next one is at 6. And I picked up mine for around like 4.9. So I had one before then, and then I ended up selling that one quickly. I ended up getting liquid. So I picked up another one. But it's just good to see what's happening in terms of that one. Bong Heads, another one that is out there that I do talk about is D-Gods. So how did I end up getting into Bong Heads and then D-Gods, for example, and even like Cats on Crack? I like looking at what communities are doing. So full transparency, I know a lot of people say they got into D-Gods under 10. I wasn't one of them. I got into D-Gods. I saw them around like the low 20s and then upper teens, but I didn't know that much about it. My journey started in Solana NFTs with Solana miners. I think I just randomly came across it. I said, let me just throw some money in there. And I went down that rabbit hole. And ever since then, I've just been looking at different NFTs. I've had winners, I've had losers. Not every single play I did was a win. I've had different ones on different scales. A lot of times the losses that I had were because I was trying to get liquid really quickly. But if you hold on to some, or even try and buy it in 2s. If you buy one and then make, I don't know, like a one sold profit, or even think about making enough profit to match both. So if you try and do like a 2x, that's a good one. If you want to do a 2x or even get a 1 to 2 sold on something you know is good, sell that one, hold the other one long term, and then you're riding on house money. That's what I try and do. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. For example, so I have right now like 3D gods, and I had one in the 20s. I ended up selling it so I can take part in like Solana Money Boys and Best Buds and those different ones. And then I ended up getting one at 47. And then a part of my company, we ended up getting one at around like 49. And then I picked up another one around 80. So I do have 3 of them. And then we're just accumulating dust. So between the dust we're accumulating and then the floor price currently now is sitting at 93, you're able to end up making your money back off of that. Yeah, it's currently sitting at 93, but you're probably saying, okay, we get it. Like, what else is it than a community? So a community for me is big. I want to see the engagement. I'm not necessarily going to be talking all the time, but you want to see the engagement. You want to see what it is on Twitter. You, of course, want to see the people that are shown as like their profile pictures too. Some people say pictures for proof, but I'll say profile pictures. So you want to see what they're doing with profile pictures. You want to see how active they are on social media. Something I'll go back to is just DGods. Frank is more so like the main one that you will see. So we'll call him the face. Although there's a team, a lot of people do know Frank, but it's not just him. He has a team that he does work with. And then also there's moderators, and they have sub communities. There's so many different sub communities that are out there, and all of that just works together with the community to make the overall product that much better. You guys wonder how all the time like Bored Ape Yacht Club got there? Their marketing was a huge thing. And that's something else that Frank did say when Dead Gods comes out, that they're going to do a lot of marketing, that you need to pay attention to it. Because a lot of this stuff now, part of it is organic. A lot of these big YouTube influencers and people on Twitter, they just like the shit that the team is doing. So community is huge. The team is big for me. I know a lot of people care if they're doxxed or not. To an extent, I care if they're doxxed. But even if they're not doxxed, you can tell if it's going to be a legit team or not, and what they're necessarily going to be producing and what they're going to be rolling out. If they have a good roadmap, that's something I like. If they explain the tokenomics in a way that makes sense and for the average person to understand, that's something else I like. If they're doing something in terms of the metaverse, I might end up going that way. I used to be a big gamer, so a lot of people that are like, oh, the gaming ones, I might not necessarily swing that way. For example, me, I hold good bags. Like I said, DGods, Yakuverse, because Yaku's building so much bigger. They're going to have a Yaku University. They have their towers. I'm trying to get that penthouse. So if someone want to hook me up with a penthouse, let me know. They got their bikes, so you can end up doing races if you want to. Then you can deck out your suite, your pod, your penthouse. They'll have different perks for each of the different ones. So if you have the pod, if you have the suite, you have the penthouse, you'll get different perks depending on which one you're on. That's something else I like. Other things are, for example, with DGods, they're hoping to end up having like a in real life event for the DGod holders. That's something I for sure would attend. I would find a way to end up going to that. But I like in real life events for the ones that have been talking in the community. So I'm a part of the DGod Scouts sub community right now. And I'll be straight up honest with you guys. For a second, I had the mentality of, I got this DGod, so I can end up flipping it when it hits around the 100 mark or like 110 Solana mark. And then I'll end up using that money to end up getting back into certain cryptos that I want, or even just being liquid for other players that come down the road. And being a part of this community and the way they talk and the way they are, you're like, I don't even want to leave. Like, I really want to stay. And that's what a community should do to you. That's what a team does. Roadmap is huge. And what is the use case? What are they really going to do? If you look at Bored Ape Yacht Club, they have Bored Ape Yacht Club, Bored Ape Kennel Club, Mutant Ape, and they just dropped their ape token. And their ape token made people dumb rich just off the token. They're rewarding their holders. And there's so many different ways. It is a status symbol at this point now, but they're going to be in the metaverse. They're going to integrate other Ethereum-based NFT collections too with them. And that token holds a use case that some things you'll end up being able to purchase with just the ape token. It's so many different ways this can go. And that's why like a lot of these other NFTs are starting to have their own coins and tokens. That's what's kind of needed. You can use that. That's the cryptocurrency aspect, and that'll hold value. Then you can end up purchasing things with that. For example, with Yaku, with the Yaku University, you'll be able to use the Yaku coins or the Yaku tokens to purchase and pay for classes or do upgrades and stuff within their tower. I have different, like I said, the pods and the suites, and then I have the motorcycle, and those are all earning me Yaku tokens. So that's something else that is really important. Like, is there a utility for it? Or what are the partnerships? because I know that Yaku's going to be doing a lot of partnerships. D-Gods, if you look at Frank's tweets, once Dead God comes out, he wants to start highlighting a lot of other NFT projects and things of that nature. But some other ones that I do have, Cats on Crick, I told you guys about. Yaku, of course, that's probably definitely my A1 day one. Although D-Gods is going to be my biggest bag for a long stretch. Yaku is something I have high conviction on. Another one that I think is very dope is just looking at the, I'll just show you guys this so you guys can see it along with me. But the bong heads is what I do really like. I personally think that they're nice. Everyone might not. Of course, there's a lot of different cannabis plays, but yeah, price right now, the time I'm talking about it, legit, I just told you a second ago, it's sitting at like 5.3, 5.4. Now it's sitting at 5.59. And with this low circulating supply, well, the low NFT collection, I should say, my bad, the low NFT collection, and then you have only 318 listed, you're doing pretty good. Yeah, it's 13%, which is a high amount. But when you look at which ones it is, so I'm gonna just call it the skull for shits and giggles, but I have one similar to this. So the floor price for this one is 5.99. And then this one's at 6. And then after you go past that one, you do have another, you have them at 6. We're sitting at 5.59. And then you only have 4 rows. So you have 16 until you're at 6. It's not that bad. And then as you get to 6, 6 is going to be the thick ceiling. Can you get over 6 is what we'll end up needing to see, because you're sitting. So the 6 Solana floor price, getting past this resistance, is similar to what 99 is going to be for D-Gods, quite frankly, because you got, oh, there's one. So you got 1, 2, 3. We'll call that 4. We can call it 5 because 5.98 is there. So you have like 4 to 5. So you're like 16 to 20. You got to get over. If this can get eaten up, that 6 floor price, you got a chance to run. Because on the backside of the 6, then you got 6.14, 6.22. I think it's something that, I know Cody was talking about it earlier on his show, Cody on Chain, that it might be a flip you need to get to 6. I was in this since I got in 1 at like 3, because if you guys remember when it first came out, it was kind of tough because it was botted up. Of course, they had issues at first with the mint, but it was botted up. And then you weren't getting it at the price, like in the 2.2s and stuff. So I had to go in the 3s, and then I sold that one. But anyways, that's just bong heads. I like the artwork. So that's something else I was bringing this up for. So this is bong heads for everyone out there. And they already have volume of over 11,000. Bong heads, I told you guys about D-Gods. If you don't know about D-Gods, you definitely are not in the Solana NFT space. But here's D-Gods and what they're doing. Clearly, you can see the ones that are common compared to the ones that aren't common. At this point, I think that the Pharaoh is cool. That's a nice one. Another one, where's the scouts? Let's see if I can find the scout. There's a scout. So shout out to all the D-God scouts that are out there. Yeah, so that's that one. I do have one that looks similar to this one as well, with the poker face and stuff, but that's just 2 of them so far. The artwork is a big thing in the community, and then of course I got to shout out the Cats on Crick. So for this one, you guys, if you see me on Twitter, or if you see anything regarding my profile picture, for a long time I had, where the hell should be here. Oh, damn, they sitting at 18 now. Shit. But yeah, the Illuminati gang. So if there's any Illuminati Cats on Crick that I do not follow, hit me up or follow me, because I 1,000% would follow y'all, because this shit is dope. I picked up mine at 4.5. So I'm chilling with mine. And I told y'all I'm not selling this. Damn near you, even at 30, that's not really that tempting. I could see this going, I'll just say a little higher than 30. Not financial advice, because I know you guys are going to be out there saying, yo, Hayes told me to end up picking this up and sell it at 30. I mean, shit, I'm going to hold on to mine regardless. If it goes back to 4, okay. If it goes up to 50, okay. but I'll hold on to I like the artwork of this. It's cool. I love the community behind this one too. So this is just another one that just diversify the way you end up doing it. They have 43,000 in volume. They have 784 listed. This is a higher for Solana NFTs goes. This is a little bit higher. It's like the 6,000s, I believe. But I like the artwork of theirs. I was talking to another one of my buddies in the cryptocurrency space. This one looks kind of cool. But I was talking to another one of my buddies in the cryptocurrency space. If you know him, Crypto Fundamentals. What up, Joe? You can end up I was talking to him about this, and he was like, "Yo, the artwork is cool." It is cool. The only thing that I know some people are saying isn't original. If you all are from the Ethereum space or know anything about NFTs, this looks very similar to Bored Ape Yacht Club, because Bored Ape Yacht Club has the ape skull, they have the cat skull. I do like what they're doing. You can have a similar logo and then brand yourself in a different way. So if they can work on having a strong community and branding themselves in a different way, you're straight. Like, it doesn't matter. But that's that one for you. And then the last one I will show you all, just in terms of like artwork and what teams they're building, is Yaku. So the picture, because this is going to take you to the bikes, but the picture is what everyone is looking forward to. So I have 2 capsules and then I have 1 bike. I'm not letting go of my bike. I'm going to hold on to that. And then I have 2 capsules. They're waiting for the avatars. If you hold a capsule and you hold a bike, you'll get 1 avatar. So my goal is to end up getting 2 capsules and 2 bikes, so I can at least get 2 avatars. And then what I can end up doing from that is flipping it into buying, if they end up making on like Famous Fox Federation, just getting another one, because the closer it gets to when they announce saying when this is going to happen, people are going to start picking it up. The price of the bikes aren't that much. They're 5.88, so it did go up some because I saw it at 4.95, and then the capsules are sitting at 7. So that's the regular capsules. And then if we look at the space suites went down. Damn. Yeah, because the space suites are only at 99, and the penthouses are sitting at 44. So, but yeah, so that's that with that one. Just wanted to show you guys that really quickly. The other thing is Invisible Friends started a long-term partnership with Kip, so that's congratulations to them. Invisible Friends is a very talked about project that's out there. And then Universal Music has acquired a Bored Ape Yacht Club for $360,000. So that's everything over there in that space. Since we were talking about NFTs and stuff, I'm trying to segue it now to sports, where a lot of different NFTs have been working with different professional athletes or celebrities that are out there. Shaq with Astros, of course, and what they're doing there. Astros is currently sitting at, Astros have been doing very good. Astros is sitting at 14.3. But so yeah, that's Astros for you. Just getting back into NFT, the sports stuff. So Brittany Griner is currently still in Russia. The U.S. officials have been able to say that she is in good condition. The other things I end up wanting to talk about today will be a big March Madness and then the NFL free agency stuff. But in terms of March Madness, something I did want to talk about. So big games coming up for UCLA and UNC. That is one that I'm looking forward to. Arizona. So Arizona with Koloko and Mathurin have been doing very good. I did not expect that. Although the game was close, TCU absolutely should have won that. I don't know how they let that one slip out their hands. I really don't have any answers. But since TCU did lose, watch out for Arizona, because I thought that might be the hiccup. That he play Houston, I believe, next week. But we'll check all that out in a little bit. Villanova, that game was good. I'm pretty sure this is with Gillespie. Yeah, it is. He did really good, although it only shows he had 20 points. He could have had more, but you could definitely tell he was just working his way back into things. 5 of 14 from the field, 2 of 9 from the 3-point line. He went 8 of 8 from the free throw line. But Villanova's going to be a team. They're They're going to do very well in this tournament. If they can continue with the way that they're going, they should be fine. Duke beat Michigan State. Auburn lost. I wasn't that surprised because Auburn, I'm pretty sure, is lost to Georgia. So that says it all in itself. Miami beat Auburn, and then Purdue. Mr. Ivy doing good. Williams was good. Edie, they all did good. They won by 10 at Texas. Texas Tech, I didn't get to watch the game, but Texas Tech, they beat Notre Dame. Iowa State, I did have Wisconsin winning that one. In one of my brackets, I did actually have Wisconsin going to the final, the championship game. But a big reason why they lost this game was because pretty sure it was Hepburn. Yeah, Chucky Hepburn got injured. So that messed up everything for their hopes in terms of him injuring his ankle. Took a huge blow because it made people that don't necessarily have to step up, needed to step up, and they didn't come alive when they should have come alive, if you guys catch my drift with that. So that's the other game that ended up happening. The big teams that I'll end up saying that I'm looking forward to seeing, I want to see what Houston can do up against Arizona. And then I also am looking forward to the UCLA game against UNC. I think that's going to be a big one. Games will start probably at the time of this recording when you guys see this. So March 24th, when the games should be coming out, I will be watching a good amount of the games. My hope is to end up seeing them. But yeah, so you got March 24th and March 25th when the games come on. Some of them are night games. I see a couple of like 7:20. I see a 9:31 on March 25th. So that's kind of how it's going to be. They all look like night games. So 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock seem like the big times for the game. 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock on March 25th and March 24th. Yeah, March 24th, 9:59, 7:29, 7:09, 9:39. UCLA UNC will be playing March 25th at 9:39 p.m. Purdue will be playing St. Peter's at 7:09. So I will watch that one on March 25th. So it'll just be a big weekend of different March Madness games. So I'm looking forward to that. Purdue, as always, that's who, believe it or not, in most of my brackets, and then Steven has them in a couple of his, but Purdue as the champions. Gonzaga is another one that in like a tournament that I'm doing with a couple of people I used to work with, I have Gonzaga. So if Gonzaga loses, that's a big one. Gonzaga was playing around for a little bit. I will say that. If you guys watch the game, Gonzaga was only won by 3. And that's not the first time that they had a little bit of an issue per se, because Gonzaga was playing around for a second with Georgia State, and then they came alive. So we'll see what ends up happening. But that's the big things I wanted to talk about over there. Let's swing this shit over to the NFL, where it seems like every single goddamn day there's some crazy ass shit that's happening. First thing is Tyreek Hill's going to the Dolphins. Howie, I pray that you were on line one with the Tyreek Hill and his representatives, aka Drew Rosenhaus, aka the Kansas City Chiefs, to see what they're doing. But they did get good picks back, because I saw some first-round picks were in there and some second-round picks. So I do want to see what Kansas City Chiefs end up doing with that. I know they got Juju Smith-Schuster. That means Travis Kelce is going to step up. Mecole Hardman is there. Pringle is pretty sure he's still out there. They have Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the backfield. So we will see what they're doing. You got the picks, so you can either use some of those picks, package it together, trade for a top receiver, or you can end up drafting and just bringing them in yourself. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Chiefs do. Chiefs are good. Another one that happened was Devontae Adams. He's going to the Raiders. Again, the Raiders are going to look good, but that division is now going to be tough. It just seems to continue to get tougher because Russell Wilson is there. You have Derek Carr that's already there. So you got Derek Carr, and then you have Devontae Adams, and you have Darren Waller, and you still got Renfro on 3, third and Renfro that are there. And then you have Jacobs out the backfield. The defense is solid. Chandler Jones is there too. The Broncos are good. I'm curious to see what the Broncos end up doing. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. You have, of course, Russell Wilson's there. Then the defense, they said, was one of the better defenses. They were just young. So I'm curious as to what they end up doing over there in Denver. And then you have the Chiefs. So they made this move. They're the only ones that didn't really make as many moves. So I do want to see what they end up doing. So, because you have then the Chargers. So we'll see what the Chargers end up doing there. The Chargers got some defensive studs. They came there. All around, it's going to be a stacked division, and we'll see who ends up coming out as the AFC West champions, and then who are going to be the wild card seats out there. Then, of course, Deshaun Watson. That contract is big. Fully guaranteed contract for Deshaun Watson. Fully guaranteed. He wasn't even thinking about them to an extent anymore. And he's going to Cleveland. He, at one point, they were saying was going between the New Orleans Saints and then also the Atlanta Falcons, and he ended up agreeing to a deal with the Cleveland Browns. A lot of people are projecting that he will be spending for this year, so that's why it's just a $1 million base salary, so that all the fines and everything will come out of that one. But money talks. No matter what anybody says, that money will for damn sure talk. Because my ass would for sure be like, all right, Shayna Sharp said it best. Oh, I got more than enough money to go buy me a coat now. I'll play in the code for that. Over 200 mil guaranteed. Oh, absolutely. Sign me up. That's the most guaranteed money anyone's received, because most times it's either incentive or it'll be a bonus, some sort of roster bonus. It'll be any of those different types of bonuses, incentives and bonuses of sorts. And he just got that shit. So good for him for getting his money. I do want to see what Deshaun Watson does back on the field. Carson Wentz is on the Commanders. The Colts got Matt Ryan and then Malik Willis. I don't know if you guys saw his pro day, but Malik Willis was that was a nice throw. These are times when I wish Steven was here, because Steven and I would analyze this similarly, but he would give a more in-depth analysis on it because he focuses on the college players a lot more than I do. But Malik Willis did very good at his pro day. And I'm looking forward to seeing who ends up picking him up. I know they're now saying that he is supposedly the top quarterback prospect. So that's why you've seen a lot of different NFL teams forcing these different trades so that they can have a chance. Although some of them know that they will not be going to the Super Bowl, you still want to end up making the playoffs because it keeps your fan base engaged and it will keep your fan base wanting to go to the games. And I'll get to that reason in a second, but we had the Malik Willis one. Big thing is who wants Baker Mayfield, because Odell Beckham seemed like he would be open and end up going back to Cleveland because Baker Mayfield isn't there. The Carolina Panthers do not want Baker Mayfield. The New Orleans Saints just re-signed Jameis Winston. The Falcons signed Marcus Mariota. So all these places are closing up because then Indianapolis agreed to a trade to get Matt Ryan. So Seattle's seeming like one of the few destinations, because Pittsburgh said we're going to stick with Trubisky for right now, and they might draft a quarterback. So we'll see what ends up happening, but Baker's options are starting to dwindle down. And it's one of those things I told Steven in the beginning. It was either the coach or Baker that had to go, one of the two. They both were not staying there. I personally did not see all of that out of Baker, but when he brought him to the playoffs that one time, and they ended up having a good amount of wins, and Tyrod got injured, and then you guys end up going with Baker. You guys thought this was the world. Wasn't all that. Just got you guys a good season that one time. But you guys can end up saying your thoughts. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on that. The big reason why I said fan base being engaged are big are because you didn't hear a lot out of the Baltimore Ravens, but they still have Lamar Jackson. I could see them making a signing for a veteran wide receiver, or they will end up drafting a receiver, because their home games, and this is something I got excited for. I'm trying to go to one of their games this year. I can go to all of them, but I'd rather end up selling them to end up bringing in money in terms of that way. But the Ravens' home games are the Bengals, the Browns, the Steelers, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Broncos. You get potentially Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, whoever the Steelers quarterback is, maybe Trubisky, Josh Allen, Tua, but you have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Chase Edmonds, all there for the Dolphins. Who knows what the Falcons are going to do? Who knows what the Panthers are going to do? And you get Russell Wilson. So you get Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, and Joe Burrow. That's four really good quarterbacks. Coming off of last year, you got Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, and Patty Mahomes all came to Baltimore. So if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan or even a Baltimore Raven are in the Baltimore area, you're excited for these games. So this is going to bring a lot of revenue into your area because they're going to be there. If all those quarterbacks play, if all those elite players come and are healthy and play, that's something you want to see. Finishing up, I just want to touch on the NBA. So Steven and I'll probably talk about this next time we end up linking up, but Steven and I were able to go to the Lakers-Wizards game. My personal thoughts are, I don't think Frank Vogel has that much time left because you have Kristaps Porzingis that is just shooting over Russell Westbrook every single damn time, and nobody ever thought to change any of that shit. Why in the hell is Russell Westbrook or Carmelo ever on Kristaps and switches for a long period of time or even just playing him? There's no damn reason for any of that. So I think that they're going to go in a different direction because LeBron is exhausting too much energy. Yes, he's going to get the record probably next year, more than likely next year, as long as there's no injuries, knock on wood, and stuff like that. But seeing LeBron in person, he is an extremely talented NBA player, and he is really good. He will keep a lot of people nervous because when we were going to the game, like we were all talking to each other, and I was texting some of my other friends, like, yo, LeBron's game time decision. Everybody was coming out there to see LeBron, and LeBron don't play. That would have been something. But I saw him in warm-ups. I saw AD warming up. Of course, AD's not back yet, but you got to see him. Of course, you saw Hoodie Mello. When I say this man just walked towards the check-in area, hoodie on. But it was cool to see all of them. Kent Bazemore was there. Kent didn't get in. Dwight Howard didn't get in, which you have Dwight Howard. Why do you just have him? He's just getting a check when he could have been guarding Kristaps. So these are different reasons why I don't understand what Frank Vogel is doing. Next week, and I was going to bring this up with Steven on the show, but next week I will be going to see the Bulls play the Wizards. I'm excited for that game because I get to see Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. So we're looking forward to seeing how that game is. Another crazy shit is I was going to go to the game, pretty sure tonight. It was going to be the Grizzlies and the Nets, and John Morant's not playing. So that's wild that I didn't end up going to that one. And finally, to top it all off, the Thunder don't have a good record, so they're going to have some nice-ass picks. But that's just always going to be the Thunder for a lot of years. They're just going to always trade away everything they have to get all them picks. I don't know if they're going to end up – I could see them going in two ways. Well, of course, only two ways they can go. Just drafting and just calling it a day that way and just building from within. Or you can trade a lot of those draft picks and then bring in some nice talent, and you're going to have so much salary cap space that you can bring in another talent. Oklahoma City isn't that spectacular of an area, so you're going to have to make it homegrown talent or a talent that's there, just like what Milwaukee is doing. But in the off chance that you can appeal to people, although you guys did mess it up by not being able to keep Russ, KD, James Harden, Serge Ibaka. They all went to bigger markets. James is in Philly now. KD is in Brooklyn. You have Russ in LA. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Those three are just in different markets and better markets. You have to keep the talent that you have within. That's all I'm going to say would end up that. But as always, we appreciate you guys. We try to end up doing this weekly. The goal is to start the Twitter Spaces, hopefully, if not next week, then the week after that. But that's going to be another exciting thing where we can start getting a lot of these NFT projects on the Twitter Spaces, and we can start diving deeper into a lot of these projects and talking that real ass shit. And we will not be getting any of that paid stuff like, oh, I'm going to pay you to end up talking on a project. No, because if you pay me to talk about your project, I might shit on that shit. And I know damn well Steven's thoughts if we allowed him to talk about some of these projects too. But keep checking out different things that we're going to end up doing. We appreciate you guys. I'm going to end it with congratulations to my good friends, John and Chanel. I will be attending their wedding this weekend, so I'm super excited for them and proud for all that they have coming up. And yeah, we gonna end it on a happy note with that. None of that funniness today. We're just gonna say I'm happy for them, looking forward to it, and we back with you guys next week. As always, Hayes, Ayo Shifty, we out.